Captain Planet in the Planeteers, episode 2 from Dynamite Comics. So yeah, we start off this episode with just a little bit of lore where we have different time periods, and we see that since the beginning there's always been two champions, the Elemental Guardian and the High Priest of Earth. So we see Captain Planet and the High Priest in Pompeii, we see him with another High Priest in South China, we see him with another one in Kenya, as they channel together the ancient magic of the 5 elemental rings. And then we see today where we see Gaia, and Gaia is trying to get the message off to the Planeteers that I'm the last High Priestess of Earth, and I beg of you, be the champions that we need. We have this shot that, yeah, it was very hard to focus on the dialogue because my mind went somewhere else. But yeah, we have Lucian Plunder, and we also have Commander Bleak. We cut to New York where we have Kwame meeting with G, or Guy. I don't know how to pronounce her name. It's been forever since I've seen the cartoons. I'm just going to say Guy because it reminds me of MXC. And Guy Ledouche was my favorite character on that show. So, yeah, Kwame and Guy, they meet each other. Guy basically says that, I used to watch your soccer games, your Ghana's under-20 football squad. I don't know why Guy would watch under-20s Ghana football. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I watch some soccer too, and I've seen some under-20s, but usually it's like, you watch like the Europe under-20s and stuff. I don't know why a Korean would be watching Ghana's under-20s. Would Ghana's under-20s even be on TV? Like, how would she watch the games? I don't know, I'm looking too much into this. But yeah, they did basically have like a little bit of conversation, kind of introduce themselves. They both have no idea at this moment that they are part of the Planeteers, that they both have the rings. And then that's when these cops show up and are arresting them. And they don't give a reason why. And then we cut to Linka, and Linka is also in New York. Apparently she has stolen her dad's private jet and flew over here, and she has like issues with her dad. So yeah, there's that. And then she sees a protest going on. The protest is just make polluters pay, wake up, shut down the plant. Be kind of nice to know what kind of plant this is. This doesn't look like we don't really see much of the building, but there's no way this is like a nuclear power plant or anything like that. There's no way they would put that in the middle of a city. And just the way like it looks like it's, I don't know, maybe it's like Plunder's headquarters or something. It is Plunder's building. I already knew that there was going to be stuff like this. I mean, Captain Planet had a bunch of politics in its show. There was literally, it was trending a little bit on X earlier this week, where there's like at the end of every episode, they had like a little PSA, kind of like the G.I. Joes did. But they had one where it was basically saying, don't have a lot of kids because there's already too many people on the planet. So they were already trying to do like population control and shoving it into kids, which is funny because Ted Turner is like the one that put out Captain Planet, and he has 5 kids. So it's just one of those things where it's like the people high up are telling you to do things that they wouldn't do. Don't eat steak as they eat steak. Don't have too many kids as they have too many kids. Stay indoors during the lockdowns as they go out to fancy restaurants. So, yeah, just a bunch of BS. I was already kind of expecting them to do stuff like that here. So, yeah, we just have like a generic protest about pollution, I guess. Which is always funny that you do it here in America, where pollution is not, like, we don't contribute as much pollution as like some other countries that maybe you should go protesting instead. I know this is a little bit off topic, but literally, the entire world can go green. Like, all of Europe and all of America could go green and contribute no pollution whatsoever. And it's still, like, we'll still have, like, pollution issues because of, like, 2 countries. I'm not going to name them. You can look it up for yourself. But basically, this whole, like, pollution and green, lifestyle and stuff, you're going to the wrong countries when it comes to protesting. There should be other ones you should go to instead. But Lika tells her chauffeur, like, stop, I'm going to be here and I'm going to join my people. So, yeah, whatever. I guess Lika is going to be a protester in this. We have Wheeler, he shows up as well. And he's just trying to get through the protest. He's not a part of it. He's just trying to walk through the crowd. But the protesters are like starting to get into a fight. And it's kind of funny because it's like they're literally just like all you gotta do is just stand there. But of course they gotta cause a ruckus. And so they cause a ruckus. In the middle of the ruckus, someone like bumps into Wheeler pretty hard, and it causes his ring to go off, and it blows up a cop car nearby. And then that's when like a riot starts. And he's just like, oh man, like I didn't mean to do this. So he's trying to get out of this situation because he doesn't want to be in the middle of a riot. And as he's running, Linka bumps into him, and he basically says, hey, like, what's the big idea? Why is everyone in the city got to be so freaking? And that's when Linka just immediately hits him with their powers. And I'm like, that's kind of a dick move. You bump into a stranger, and the first thing you do is use your powers on them. Maybe you shouldn't be having the ring. Maybe we should give the ring to somebody else. But we cut to Kwame and Guy, and they're inside the back of a police car. And Kwame is basically realizing that these aren't cops. There's something going on here. And that's when he realizes that Guy has the same ring as him. So he realizes, oh, these aren't cops. These are probably people that are trying to get after our rings. Gaia like mentioned that there would be people after us. Maybe these are them. So they decide to use their powers. One of the cops is eating a salad. I don't know why you would be eating a salad in the back of a cop car. You should probably wait for lunchtime, but whatever. This gives a convenient excuse for them to break out. Basically, Kwame sees a salad and he uses his ring to make the salad grow. And then Guy ends up using her ring to make a sewer lid like shoot up and hit the bottom of the car, flipping it over. And they basically have their escape. And then meanwhile, Wheeler and Linka are still fighting each other. It's on the news. I like how we have this moment where we have Linka and Wheeler like on the news as explosions reported in Midtown. And then we also have like a computer screen where we have Kwame and Guy. I'm like, who's filming this? But it's just to give a reason for Plunder to like watch them and know who the Planeteers are now. And so they start fighting each other. And then that's when Kwame and Guy break up the fight. And then Linka and Wheeler decide, you know what? Maybe we should switch dance partners. How about we work together and we take out these two? So Linka and Wheeler team up to fight against Guy and Kwame until Mari gets involved. Now I'm going to stop it here. There's more, but I don't want to spoil everything. I'll say this is fine. I already knew that we were going to get some like messages in here. And thankfully, like, we don't have anything like completely shoved in our face. Like, we literally just have like the protesters, and they're just your basic we gotta stop pollution, which is fine. Like, they're not doing a whole like, oh, let's make like the leader of the protester look like Greta, or let's make Lucian Plunder look like Donald Trump or anything like that. Like, they're not doing anything crazy like that. It's just basically your basic, we gotta stop pollution. So I'm glad that they're focusing more on the story and the characters and the world building and stuff like that, rather than trying to shove in messages. And that the message that they do have, it's just your basic like universal, everything can kind of get behind. Like, everyone can kind of get behind stop pollution. It's just obviously people argue on how we, what ways can we stop pollution is where people differ. But I like the fact that we're not doing that here. It's just your basic, pollution is bad, we got to stop it. Yeah, I like that. I like the fact that, so far, we're not going heavy-handed with the social commentary, which I understand, like, the show did it. I brought that up. The show had a lot of social commentary in there. A lot of it kind of went over my head as a kid, but then, like, looking back, especially the overpopulation, it's like you realize, like, holy cow, like, you're pushing this on kids. But so I get that the main source material has a lot of that. But I like the fact that they're not putting that into the comics yet anyways. We'll see where it goes. But all in all, I found this to be alright. Interesting take to have like the Planeteers start off fighting each other. Kind of reminds me of like modern day crossover comics, where like anytime you have a crossover, you have to have the two crossovers fight each other before they realize they're on the same side. And that's basically what you get here, where they start fighting each other until they all realize that they have the ring and there's a common enemy, which is Lucian Plunder and his police force. Well, I say police force, but they're not really police. They're just pretending to be. So I'll just say Lucian Plunder and his military force. Yeah, the artwork is okay for the most part. There are moments where like the faces are just kind of weird, but all in all, like the artwork isn't too bad. So yeah, I found this to be okay. I would, if you liked Captain Planet, then yeah, check it out. If you never watched Captain Planet, I mean, so far this is interesting. We'll have to wait to see, like, you know, when it actually gets to fighting evil and stuff like that. Right now, we're just kind of setting the groundwork and just here's the characters, here's a bit of their backstory, here's them all meeting up and stuff like that and discovering their powers. So right now, we're just kind of setting up the building blocks. And then I'm assuming with the next issue, we're going to get them going after their main foe. Yeah, so far, it's okay. It's surprisingly better than I was expecting it to be. So there you go. Captain Planet and Planeteers, issue number 2 from Dynamite Comics. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still want to thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next one is more to your liking. With that said, thank you once again, and I hope you guys and gals have a good one. Later.